might be a little too bright. Let me see if I can move away from the window further out. Is this better? I think that's better. Yeah, you can see into my bedroom, but it's okay. All right, the further I am from the window, the better it looks. Okay, so I am live. Let's see if anyone wants to join me. And if not, that's okay, because I know a lot of people do watch the videos after the fact. So if you don't have time right now, or you are at work or doing something, you can watch live video later. Am I live, really? Looks like it. Okay, I'll start, and whoever joins me, just say hi. Introduce yourself, say hi in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say, and drop your questions in the comments as well if you have any. And I'll start. Well, actually, I'm gonna go over some things that happened last weekend. For those who are not in Virginia or the Outer Banks, we had this blizzard, which I may have talked about on my last video, but it has not happened by that time yet. And anyway, what that did, and I live on a 3-acre piece of land and in the middle of the forest, so it is a dirt driveway to get to my house. So once it snows like that, there's no way my little car drives out the driveway. So I'm basically stuck in the middle of my house for the past week without any possibilities of me going anywhere or driving anywhere. And I had to move some of my appointments to a later date, and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, my client's probably thinking I'm crazy because the snow must have already melted on the main road, but I am still talking about not being able to get out of my driveway. And it is true, My car is still covered in snow. There's snow around my car, and I'm actually afraid to try to drive it, but I'm gonna try to drive it today and see if I get stuck. Hopefully not. And that would be so amazing for me to finally get out of the house for the first time after a week. It was really hard for me to get. I just don't have any. I can't be productive once you get stuck at home and it's all the same and you don't have any external motivation to do anything. It's kind of hard to even stay productive. I thought I'm gonna get so many things accomplished, and unfortunately it is not the case. Anyway, so let's see. I did make a few notes because my thoughts are running like crazy from like one side to another, and so it's hard for me to stay focused. That's why I'm like writing down little keynotes, so I know this is something I need to talk to you about. Also, another thing, live videos are weird. By the way, I can see myself in my phone, and like those 10 pounds that I gained, oh my god, they really show. But anyway, that is my motivation. Like, seeing myself and that on that screen is my motivation to get fit and go back to where I was. Anyway, so let's see. All right, so I pulled out a few pictures to show you and to share with you. One of the pictures was my worst picture to date so far, and one was some of the best picture, or the picture or the state of my life that I'm proud of. So I'm gonna show two of those, and I'm gonna talk about it a little more. So the first picture, and I've been writing a journal since I was 7. I have stopped writing a journal as an autobiography, basically, probably about 5 or even 7 years ago. But before that, I have every single year, I've written everything in my journals. So this was from the time when I was probably, okay, so I started this journal in 2000 and I finished in 2003. So I was probably age 16 at that time. And so one of the periods that I went through was when I read this one book, and it literally changed my mind and made me kind of become aware of nature. And that's when I started being vegetarian, when I was 14. And so at that time I decided, okay, I don't know, I just kind of went inside of myself and became all spiritual and did not really care what I looked like and how I dressed. And so that's when I met one of my friends, and unfortunately I don't even know where she's at anymore, and I lost any track of her. So this is her picture, and this is her name is Aisha, and this is me. So this was my biggest weight to date until, I guess, now. I don't even know how much I weighed back then, but I remember I did not care. And so at some point when I finished high school and I realized, oh crap, I look like shit. And so I met all these beautiful people at the university, and they were all fit and hot and beautiful. And that was the time when I started thinking about having boyfriends and trying to hang out with guys. And so I decided, okay, it's time for me to get all beautiful, hot and sexy and whatnot. And so that's when my journey back then started. And what I did was I started exercising for 30 minutes every single morning. There was not a single morning that I have not exercised. And those were very basic exercises. I did few crunches. I did few exercises on my feet, on my legs. And so every morning for 30 minutes I exercised before I went to university, and that has made a huge difference in my life. And also I had cut back on the things that I was eating, and my stomach really shrank to where I did not really want to eat. And I was always busy, because if you ever been to university, you are to university in Russia, where I had to travel for about an hour to get there by bus and an hour back, and spending entire day there. And so I did not have time to eat, or I did not have, I was basically busy all the time. So it just kind of happened on its own, and the 30-minute exercises that I was doing helped. And after that, I remember I went for like a 10-mile bike ride, which was absolutely amazing. I did not even think I could do that, but I did, and that's when I noticed I lost a lot of weight. So then another period of my life was when I moved into United States, and I was still, and that was 2005, and I was still I guess hot and skinny. I had this crazy red hair. Like, I don't even know. Do I even have a sample of this red? I don't have a sample of this red, but it's red hair that I used to have. I was all fired up. I was this untamed, like, you can't tame my spirit, and I'm there moving to United States to change the world, and blah 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 blah, whatever that stage of my life was. And I quickly met my future husband then, and we kind of started living together. And after a few years of living together, I think, and adjusting to American lifestyle, I think I started gaining weight, because first of all, I stopped doing any exercises. I thought I was fine just the way I am. And he used to always tell me, oh, you're beautiful. So I'm like, okay, I have no motivation to exercise anyway. Second, if you ever lived in Russia, girls are dressing up to go to grocery stores. So you are like living in this world of a fashion show that never ends. So you go outside and you see these beautiful hot girls and you want to be one of them. So here in the United States, especially on the Outer Banks, people wearing flip-flop shorts and loose t-shirts. So you don't have any kind of motivation to dress up whatsoever because nobody does that. So that did play a big role in my life, and I kind of lost some of that motivation to stay fit. And the biggest thing was when I had two pregnancies, and after 2 pregnancies, my body literally flipped a switch where I no longer could, my metabolism was not as quick as it used to be. I literally was eating and I could be just fine without trying too hard. And since the birth of my sons, I no longer can do that. I have to really try in order for me to stay the way I used to be. So anyway, this picture was my proudest weight moment. I'm gonna show this to you. And that is my ideal weight, and I would love to go back to that. And this was in Las Vegas. That was 2008 or 2000. Oh, okay, yeah, that was 2008. So that's like 10 years ago. Oh my God, insane. Seriously, 10 years ago. Anyway, so and I remember walking in Las Vegas, and I had these boots, and my mom and dad, they making really awesome designer shoes. And so I asked them to make me these boots. And I took those boots with me to Las Vegas, and I'm walking on the streets and I'm feeling like 100%. And then I get compliments from every third guy who walks on the street, and I'm like getting compliments about my shoes. And I'm like, yeah, this was my proudest moment where I felt kind of the hottest, I guess. So that is now on my visualization board. This picture is now on my visualization board. Can you see little holes from a pin? So it's there for me to go back to, because I do feel I have a little extra and it does not exactly feel comfortable. However, I don't see that a reason to not love myself or love the way I am. So let me go back to my notes and see if I missed talking about anything. Anyway, no. So the main part that played in me losing a lot of weight back then from, where's that picture that I showed you? I already don't know. There it is. From this, you can't see, to this, was that I came from a place of loving myself. And so this is the difference. When you look in the mirror and you see yourself and you think, oh my God, my arms are too big, or my stomach is too fat, or my butt is way too big. This is a place of hating yourself, and this is not a good place to start. The place of loving yourself is when you're looking in the mirror and you see, oh my God, my stomach is a little better, and my arms are a little smaller after I exercised 3 days ago, and oh my God, this dress fits just right, and I'm just so hot and sexy, and I want to push even harder and to be even better and to look even slimmer. So that's the difference. The difference of, okay, I want to feel sexier and I want to be even better, versus, oh, I really don't like the way I look and I want to not even try in certain cases, in some cases. So what does it matter? So you see the mindset and the attitude in those two versions. So with the attitude, when you have this attitude of, oh my God, I'm hot, sexy, and I just gonna change the entire world, and every guy's gonna love me, whatever your reason is. Back then, that was my reason. I wanted to find an awesome man. So that was my reason, and that what's kept me motivated. Right now it is hard because first I'm married. It's not as enticing to like my husband already loves me, so it's not like I have to earn his love. But so anyway, and on top of that, I am so busy, and sometimes I just grab something and I learn to just constantly keep eating because it's something to do versus when I'm really hungry. So that's the difference. And mentally, it's so hard for me to overcome. Yeah, so it's really hard to overcome. So that's something I am currently struggling with. How do I go back to not eating that much? I am constantly eating. I'm not stopping eating, and that's my problem. When I first came to the United States, I had one meal at night, and that's all I've eaten. And I ate these little portions, like literally very little, one meal a day. And I did not want to eat. And I felt like that was way too much. Right now, I just eat these big, huge portions. And I feel like, oh, it's never enough. So anyway, this is something I am struggling with. And I need to find a way to go back to the philosophy and motivation that I had back then in order for me to go back to that. But the main message in this video is that you do need to love yourself, and you do, no matter what weight you are, come from a place of loving yourself and seeing yourself beautiful. And whatever it is that you set your mind to, whether it is to lose a few pounds or if you are too skinny to gain a few pounds, come from a place of loving instead of hate, and your goals will just fall into places, and it's going to be so much easier and so much enjoyable for you to achieve them. Let's see. I think I touched all the points I wanted to talk about. Do you guys have any questions? If you have any questions, just put something in the comments and let me see. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna tell you that next week I still have that Valentine's opening, and the session fees are 50% off. So if you really always wanted to do a boudoir session, this is the time to do it, because we will have time for all of your products to come in just in time for Valentine's Day. So whether it's a present for your husband or your boyfriend or yourself, that would be perfect timing. Okay, so looks like you don't have any questions, so I'm gonna run. And like I said, this would be my first attempt to go out of this snow and see if hopefully I don't get stuck. So wish me luck. If you want to grab that Valentine's session, drop me an email to awesomeshotsobx@gmail.com. And stay active in my group. I love seeing you commenting. I love you girls participating in our conversation. It just makes my heart so happy. All right, I'm gonna run. See you soon.